Okay, so another one of those projects that's been kind of in the bucket list since we got the truck home last February was obviously the gentleman that we bought the truck from had a 4-door Jeep, which is what led us to going to look at this truck. He had reached out to us on Facebook through one of the HDP pages. He knew that we were kind of interested, and he said, hey, I've got a truck that's all rigged out for a 4-door. Long story short, you know all that past history. If you don't, go back and watch the rest of the videos. Anyways, the truck was already set up for his Jeep. So it has wheel chocks for all 4 corners. Of course, these are permanently welded down because obviously the Jeep can only go so far forward. And then the tie down ratchets right here were welded to the front of the frame. Now moving to the back, obviously it has removable chocks, you know, so that you can undo them and back the Jeep off. I keep saying truck. Anyways, that gentleman's Jeep had morphed along the years as well. They originally had a stock Jeep that had just a 33-inch size factory tire on it, basically, and they had gone to 35s. And so through time, there has become a multitude of holes to set the wheel chocks on. Fast forwarding, our Jeep runs 39s for dailies. I run a set of 40-inch stickies for off-roading. The chocks would not fit in the original locations, which hasn't been a problem. Again, I have a chain and strap set up. It goes right over the back of the truck and hooks on, but I would like to get this project done. So all I did was I just set the wheel chock up here, up against the tire for the 39s, and I have marked the center line of these holes. That will give us room, obviously, for frontwards and forwards, depending on whether we're running the 40s or the 39s. And so anyway, that's just one of those projects. I wanted to get those marked, and then we're just going to drill and tap new holes in this plate that is welded down to the bed. So that's what the white marks are for. And that way we can go ahead and get to where we start using the rear chocks also. And then at that point in time, I will get some over the tire straps and we can stop using these. I don't really want those in the way once we get our 5th wheel hooked up, right? Just because of ease to walk around the deck and not have to worry about tripping over the straps and all that kind of stuff like that. But anyway, that's where we're at now. So I'm just going to take a punch and go ahead and punch the new holes down. And that way, you know, when the paint gets wore off or whatever, then we can go ahead and know where they're already at. So anyway, let's get those punched right quick. All right, so now all we got to do is start drilling them, and that'll take a little bit. It is pretty thick plate welded on top of the deck plate, so obviously we're gonna have to drill entirely through this plate plus through this, and then we will just re-tap them and have some new holes for our hold down chocks. And yep, even 6,000 pounds makes a difference on the ride height. It's lowering the back down to what it calls normal operating ride height. Well, I don't know what I measured off of last time, but I guess that's why you measure twice and cut once, huh? So I went ahead and swapped out the small tires for the big tires. Laugh out loud, right? Anyway, I got the 40-inch stickies back on there so we can check the chalk to make sure that I got the actual marks correct, which I did not, so I don't know what I measured off of, but anyway, we're just gonna remark them. We'll re-punch the holes, and I mean, this side was pretty darn close, but that other side, shit, I don't know what I measured on that side. Those original punch marks are nowhere to be found. So like I say, we'll just remark them now with the 40s on there. See, like I said, like this one is way up close. I mean, I knew that a little bit, but I got, you know, these big slots. So we're just gonna back that one up a little bit. And this one, it wouldn't even have went, so I'm glad I didn't drill it. But we'll just remark that one too. So we'll repunch these. Anyways, we're gonna get them drilled out and get it where we can start using the rear chocks, because These wheels are much easier to cinch down because they got the holes in them than the black rhinos. I actually getting to where I don't really like loading and unloading the Jeep with the black rhinos because they're a solid face wheel and it's hard on the front straps. So I'm gonna look into getting another set of bead locks for the 39s for the small tires, the dailies. But anyway, let's get those drilled so we can start using the chocks and we can wrap through the rim and just cinch them down. All right, so there it is. So I'm gonna leave. No, probably not. Anyway, we're probably going to get some socket head cap screws, just like some all thread with some Allens, and we'll run them down in there till they're flush, and then we'll just tack weld them over and grind it down flush. That'll keep those. If we ever want to take it back out, all we got to do is grind the little weld off and run them back out. But I don't ever foresee going to smaller tires in the future unless we got a different Jeep, maybe got a JL in the future or something like that. But anyway, got them all tapped and everything's all set. There's plenty of adjustment in there to move them back and forth between the 39 dailies and the 40 for the off-road. So that's it. One more little project clicked off. Now I can go ahead and order some over the tire, like basket strap type, so that we can just, you know, wrap it over the tire. I've got some weld down tabs that look like these. They're just more of these. We'll get the Jeep back on here one day, and then we'll just set the tab here in the front. We'll weld it down, and then we can hook it, run over the top of the tire, strap it down right over the top of the tires. Be much quicker and easier than kind of the way I'm doing it right now. But this has worked great since we picked the truck up. I mean, I haven't had any complaints with the way we've been hooking it up. It's just kind of time consuming. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to do it, and literally if I get all this done like that, I mean, we can unload and load probably within, you know, 5 or 10 minutes tops. You know, I'm still working on a different idea for the ramps. They work fine right now. I've added some rollers to the bottom of them, right? So it makes it a lot easier to drag them on and off of the truck, and it makes it a lot quieter. One thing I've found at night when we're in like a campground or something, and I go to unload it, I mean, I'm dragging those ramps off the back, and they're so loud and everything, and I'm like, my God, we're waking up the whole campground. So the rollers have helped out a lot. The problem with those is they're kind of light. So when you get to going down the road and bouncing, they want to bend. I have an extra set already, but it kind of bends the caster, and it gets where they don't want to roll. But the next size up that's heavier, the mounting plates are a lot wider than the rail on the ramp, so I'll have to come up with a different solution for that. But anyway, that's it for now. Wheel chocks checked off, done. On to the next projects. I still have a ton of air leaks that I just have not finished fixing all of the air leaks underneath the truck, so we'll probably get started on that here pretty soon. And then I still need to finish out the bed. This initial black coat was really more of just a primer coat. I've got some runs in it. I need to get those sanded out. But it is starting to get cold here now. I mean, it's winter time here in Southeast Texas, so it's 85 degrees one day and 40 degrees the next day. So I have to find me a weather window so I can get that sanded down, scuff the bed back down real good, and then put a real good top coat of single stage with a lot of hardener in it over there, and be done with painting that. And of course, I still need to get the top done, bed linered. And I'm probably still going to give a big, huge shout out to my buddy up in Tulsa at Tulsa Bed Liners, Mike. Anyway, he's probably I'm going to get him to fix us up on doing the bed liner on the top. One and done. We don't have to worry about that anymore because he does really good work. So, but anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for coming along on this short little project, which wasn't much, but anyway, one more thing done to the HDT RV hauler.